Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Good morning. Just advertising here a little bit. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. What's going on? It's not working. Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. All right, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Ready for the deep dive? Okay. Why do I have... Oh, I see. Get the messenger. Let me see if I can shut that off here. I gotta shut this off here. Notifications. Let's see. Action Center. Preferences. Here we go. There we go. Okay, see if this works here. All right. There's beats here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Ram Hari Ram Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hey Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Whoa, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. Rama, Rama, Hari Hari. Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari. Oh, my Lord Krishna. 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 Oh, my Lord Krishna. Oh, my Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. The sun has risen. The the son of Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama. All right, we'll invite some devotees here. Krishna, Krishna, and we'll read a little bit. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, it's in the comment section here. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hare Krishna. I wanted to put you in between there. Make a sandwich. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Is this the one? No. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's, may the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet. Whoa! Which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. May the sight of Srimati Radharani's Kilakanchit ecstasy, which is like a bouquet, bring good fortune to all. Woo! Yeah. Whoa! When Krishna blocked Srimati Radharani, when Krishna blocked Srimati Radharani, when Krishna blocked Srimati Radharani, uh, uh, to the Dhanagati. When Krishna blocked Srimati Radharani to the Dhanagati, there was laughter within her heart. There was laughter within her heart. Her eyes grew bright. Her eyes grew bright. And fresh tears flowed from her eyes. When Krishna blocked Radharani to the Dhanagati, there was laughter within her heart. Her eyes grew bright. And fresh tears flowed from her eyes, reddening them. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna, her eyes were enthusiastic. Due to her sweet relationship with Krishna, her eyes were enthusiastic. And when her crying subsided, she appeared even more beautiful. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna. All glories to Radha's love for Krishna. The enemy of the demon Mora. Although it is all pervading. Although it is all pervading. Although it is all pervading. It tends to increase at every moment. It tends to increase at every moment. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. Although it is important, it is devoid of pride. And although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity. Although it is pure, it is always beset with duplicity. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Radhe Radhe. Thus ends the Nandi Slokas. Sutadhara, enough with all these words, looking about. Ah, how is it that a great circle of saintly people glistening in the moonlight, how is it a great circle of people glistening in the moonlight of my Nandi Slokas, people glistening in the moonlight of my Nandi Slokas. Trembles with ecstatic love. Trembles with ecstatic love. Oh, Rupa Goswami. This is not poetry. It's showers of nectar. Whoa! Oh my Lord. Now trembles with ecstatic love at the foot of Nandishvara Hill, again looking about, dancing, and his hairs erect. One devotee finds his body blossoming with joy. Withered and his face pale, another devotee finds his heart broken. Roaring, another devotee runs about. Falling, another devotee lies motionless. What has happened to these peaceful devotees now that they are overcome with love for Lord Krishna? What has happened to these peaceful devotees now that they are overcome with love for Lord Krishna? Thinking for a moment, I know the reason. They have become wild by drinking the Kadamba nectar of spiritual love. They have become wild by drinking the Kadamba nectar of spiritual love. They have become wild by drinking the Kadamba nectar of spiritual love. Because when love develops in the heart of a devotee, when love develops in the heart of a devotee, oh, when love develops in the heart of a devotee, he cannot check the transformations of his sentiments. He cannot check the transformations of his sentiments. His heart is just like an ocean rising of the moon. His heart is just like an ocean at the rising of a moon. His heart is just like an ocean at the rising of a moon. When the ebb tide cannot be checked, immediately there must be movement of high waves. Immediately there must be movement of high waves. Although in the natural state, the ocean is always grave and unfathomable. When the moon arises, nothing can check the ocean's agitation. Similarly, those who are pure devotees cannot in any count check the movement of their feelings within. Looking again, still, Lord Krishna's pastimes are more beautiful than anything in the world. Still, Lord Krishna's pastimes are more beautiful than anything in the world. Still, Lord Krishna's pastimes are more beautiful than anything in the world. Still, Lord Krishna's pastimes are more beautiful than anything in the world. Shaking his head, he calmly says, Lord Krishna's affectionate joking quarrel with Sri Radha enters the ears of the swan-like devotees. Shaking his head, he calmly says, Lord Krishna's affectionate joking quarrel with Sri Radha enters the ears of the swan-like devotees and stops them from tasting anything else, even things others think to be the purest nectar. Even other things people think to be the purest nectar. An actor cheerfully enters. Actor. It's 7 features strong, its text beautiful in 2 ways, and its plot avoiding many twists. This artistic play shines like the glory of a great empire. Sutadhara. O actor, who has crossed to the further shore of the ocean of expert skill in acting and dancing. You know very well how, asked by my friends, I will now present a one-act play that bears the name Danakeli Kumudi. Meditating on the deity I worship, I will now pray for his blessing. He folds his hands. Glory to the eternal supreme personality of Godhead. Glory to the eternal supreme personality of Godhead. whose holy name attracts they who know what is sweet, whose good character delights King Nandi, and whose handsome form is a festival of bliss. Actor, master, look, look. O master of all poets, your beautiful poetry has made, like stunned deer, the circle of devotees who know how to taste nectar. Motionless, they do not even know who they are. Sutadhara filled with graceful poetry. Why should the Nandi slokas at the beginning of this play not delight the devotees who know how to taste nectar? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Woo! Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Ah, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Gauranga Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Gauranga Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda, Sri Krishna, thank you, Chaitanya. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Prabhupada. From all my heart, for your saving grace. Thank you so much. No words. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So Tom, why don't you read us something now? You have anything you want to read us? I have no more strength. I can't do it. I can't swim in this ocean too much. The waves are too high now.
Who do you want to read something, Guru Maharaj? Tom or me?
Let's let Tom read a little bit.
Yeah, it's good.
See if any high waves are in the ocean over there. What would you like to read today, Tom?
I like the method with some keywords and then look into Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay. Yeah, good. Go for it.
Somebody feel some keywords?
Oh, you mean keywords as like
Search.
Oh, see or search of keywords.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You mean so? Should I do a search? What are you asking?
No,
I don't know.
When you feel kind of intuitive words. An intuitive word. I can put
okay.
it.
And then you can do a search.
Yeah.
Okay. How about what keyword do you have there, Lalita?
Intoxication.
Intoxication. Go for it, man.
Okay.
I like that word. That's a good word, man.
Nice.
Applied to Krishna, it's great.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi.
Isn't this great to be able to read these deep verses? You know, these are, and to relate to them, to actually feel that relation. And then you're like that. People can see when you're reading, they can see you're that kind of devotee. So I mean, it's like, you see the book Bhagavad and devotee Bhagavad. The book Bhagavad explains the characteristics of the devotees that were there then. And then you can see, where are these characteristics now? That's why you see devotee Bhagavad is an example. The Lord uses them as an example to teach the truth. Otherwise, how do you know you're just getting fed bullshit? A person's reading the Vedas and they're not an example. You don't see what they're talking about. Yeah. That's why you need both the book and the devotee. The devotee proves the book and the book proves the devotee. See?
Wow.
Yeah. How's that seed? Go for it. Go ahead.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarin. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar
Shivasadi Gaura. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Oh, this is far away in the end of chapter 5, Adilila, text 208. Because he is intoxicated by ecstatic love and is an incarnation of mercy. Because he is intoxicated by ecstatic love and is an incarnation of mercy.
See
He
how
does
they go
not,
together? See how they intoxicated by transcendental love, by ecstatic love, and the incarnation of mercy. So people need to look for the incarnation of mercy is somebody who is intoxicated by transcendental ecstatic devotion. See, automatically the mercy flows from those persons. Otherwise, there's no mercy in this world. People are intoxicated by the material modes of nature. That's why everybody's like drunk on these modes, and they're impotent, impotent, got no real juice, not for devotees. They only feed the people in the Maya. They're basically, being fed by the modes and going around. See, like spinning around like this, like a rat going on a treadmill. You're just going around doing nothing really. The modes make you spin around. You know? See, so they're intoxicated by these modes. So ultimately, the devotees come here, the Lord comes here and show being intoxicated by transcendental devotion. And whoever becomes attracted to that, they stop spinning on that wheel. And then you start to spin on this wheel. This one is the eternity, for eternity. Yeah, go ahead.
you already explained the whole verse.
Did I? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, read it. Let's hear it. Let's see if it's
Chapter 8, you say which verse?
Chapter 5, Adilida.
5, okay.
And then verse 208.
200.
Okay. Because he is intoxicated by ecstatic love and is an incarnation of mercy, he does not distinguish between the good and the bad. Word by word.
Yeah. Okay, first, before we get into that. So, yeah, he doesn't. This is what this mercy does. You rise above the dualities of the material world. See, the material dualities. You don't look like that. You don't see like that anymore. You don't see this is a good person, this is a bad person. You're seeing through the whole veil by this ecstatic platform of worship, and this ecstasy. You look beyond the veil and you see the soul is there. Oh, these are two servants of the Lord, intoxicated with the mode of goodness. Okay? That's the good. Intoxicated with the mode of badness or impurity of the mode of ignorance, which is the mode of ignorance. See, it's all modes to a devotee. And so anyone can take advantage of this mercy. That's why you notice these elements are in our preaching. I don't discriminate. Oh, you got to be a Brahmin to come here. Oh, I like you because you're a Brahmin. And I don't like you because you're in the mode of ignorance. No, whoever comes, that's why I say this is the mood of those who are intoxicated by this intimate, ecstatic relationship with the Lord. They just say, well, who's willing to hear and get purified of the modes? If you hear from a devotee, you could be steeped in the mode of ignorance, but you just hear the vibration of a devotee, you're going to get purified. And that goes for all the modes. You'll go rise above the mode of goodness. You'll think just like St. Paul. St. Paul thought, I was a Pharisee, and that is like filthy rags before the Lord that I'm worshiping now. Dirty rags. You'll think in the mode of goodness, this is dirt. This is not clean yet. And people think, oh, I'm so clean. You're not clean until, the Lord enters your heart and shows you what is real cleanliness, is him. He's spotless. His love is spotlessly pure and purifying. See, because he's intoxicated, that mercy, that pure love of God flows from those devotees, and you can take advantage of it. You don't have to be anything special. All you have to do is take shelter of it, just like devotees take shelter of Shuddha Bhakti. That's all I do. I just take shelter of Shuddha Bhakti, and everything goes nice. So if you're not purified, and most people aren't, you need to come under the shelter of those who are under the shelter of Shuddha Bhakti. That's the parampara principle. Otherwise, you won't know what is reality. You'll just be spinning out in all of this huge universe full of Maya everywhere at every step.
Mm.
Yeah, go ahead there.
There's a lot of identification actually with the body in mode of goodness and with false ego. It's a lot of
it's still all about the body. Either the material body or the material emotions, or the material emotions or the mind. And I even see there's spiritual psychologists. I was watching one yesterday on YouTube, and the guy's spiritual and everything, but they're still dealing identification with the mental body. And they're spinning around with that, and they're intoxicated by it, and it's an alloy. Your spirituality is alloyed with this mental identification. See, this is why I just love our disciplic line, which most people don't understand what it really is. Not yet. There's still alloys in our Vaishnava movement. We're here. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said it's the responsibility of real devotees to purify the anarthas in their disciplic line, and we have many. And our worship is part of that. It automatically purifies the disciplic line, because this worship is from the heart. It really is, and it's clean, it's clear. There's no other motive other than just being close to Krishna here. And that is rare in any line. A lot of times people want to be close to the Lord so they can be powerful. They can be mystically they can heal the sick and make, because that's like they want to be like God. There's an alloy still. I mean, spiritual mixed in there. But this, is pristine. This is Lord Chaitanya's grace. This line is so amazing. I feel so blessed to contact it, because when you read the poetry of Rupa Goswami, completely pure heart, man. There's nothing like it in this world. The Lord, this is why so much ecstatic love awakens from it. The Rupa Goswami was empowered by the heart of the Lord. His deepest ecstatic truths and emotions came through the poetry of Rupa Goswami. It's inhuman. You cannot humanly compose anything like that. You cannot humanly exhibit that kind of emotion. Only a personality like Rupa Goswami and those very intimate gopis. He was Manjari, knows the highest, deepest heart of Radharani. This is what we're getting. Only the Manjaris know these things. Yeah, go ahead. Got on a tangent there.
In ecstatic love, preme, mad, mata. Lord Nityananda, merciful, kripa, intonation.
It has to be in ecstatic love. If you're not in ecstatic love, you have no mercy. No real mercy. In ecstatic love is that Holy Spirit the Christians talk about. You got to be in that. You got to be overwhelmed by that. You got to be overcome by that. That's the real mercy, and it flows through the real devotees. From them, ecstatic prema emanates. See that songbook? That's the kind of guru you need. You got your whole life in Vaishnavism and following this guru and that guru and everything is to get an ecstatic guru. Is ultimately, and it's not enough just you have Prabhupada's an ecstatic guru. Yeah, but he didn't preach that. You have to meet that kind of guru, and they have to teach you these things. They have to show you these things, not hide it from you because you're going to go away. You got to go through the purification of facing those waves of ecstatic love, reducing the anarthas in your heart, your own heart, being close to that vibration. You got to get those rays. And that advances you. Then you start to get the real taste, and then you're not afraid of ecstatic emotions. You're not angry about people getting ecstatic. I mean, you got to come closer, right? You got to come so close that you surrender to that ecstatic devotion. You welcome it. You're eager for it. See, these are the symptoms of those who are close to God like this. And yes, Lord, I welcome you. I welcome your Holy Spirit of devotion. I welcome Radha. Radha, please, without your love, I've got nothing. Okay? Your love for Krishna is everything. Let me hear topics about that. Okay? Otherwise, I got no life in this world. This is a devotee. This is life in this world. This is why these devotees come and their poetry breathes life into us. Otherwise, no life. That's what devotees, they live off of that. The fragrance of Krishna. In our line, it's Krishna and Lord Chaitanya. We live off that fragrance coming from his devotees. Yeah. Go ahead.
Incarnation avatar. So, first sentence. In ecstatic love, mad, Lord Nityananda, merciful incarnation.
See, mad. People think if you would see Nityananda now, the Vaishnavas would not welcome him. Just like the Christians. Many Christians would not welcome Jesus if they saw his actual behavior, his actual characteristics, because he's close to God, right? Well, if the closer you are to God, the more ecstatic you're going to be like God. You're going to reflect the real nature of God. When you see, Jesus said, when you see me, you see the Father. When you see Jesus or any real intimate devotee and they're showing, you're seeing the Lord's ecstasy. The Lord is ecstatic, man. That's the happiness of the Lord is what the devotees get. They become so close to the Lord, they get his happiness. And then if you want to know the happiness of the Lord, you have to see it on their person, reflected on or refracted on their person, coming out. That's God, man. That's his manifestation. His devotional potency is him. See, that's what liberates us, is that devotional potency. It makes us devotees so that we can love him like devotees do. Without our love for God awakened, we're not delivered, man. It's not enough people coming up to you, Christians, a lot of them who don't really know deeply. They say, don't you know God loves you? No, they should be asking you, hey, man, don't you know that you have love for God that's ready to be awakened? That's conclusive. You're like wood and fire is in there. Come hang out with devotees and let us ignite it. Your personal relationship with God you can have just like you see Lalita Ganga has, and Tom's is growing, and others. They look at Johan's personal relationship. Look how wild that guy is, man. Wild bhakti, man. Look at Christina's, her relate. See, you could be like that too. See, that's conclusive. That gives some substance to like, oh, I can attain it here. Yeah, like them. The witnesses, the examples. You like that? Yeah. Oh, that's Raganuga. You got the qualification for Raganuga. You want to be with ecstatic devotees. Oh, you like that relationship. You're not like the Vaidis. No, I don't want that. I just want to be. Give me a bunch of Varnashram Dharma and rules and regulations, and I'm good. Okay, great. There's your home. This is our home. We like to be wild with ecstasy, man. Dancing like mad women and men. Ecstatically, just infatuated and mad in ecstatic devotion. I mean, that's what Lord Chaitanya came here. I still, But if you want to be with the old program, what happened before Lord Chaitanya came, everybody just going around with Lord Jagannath and having all your prejudice and sectarianism and being a materialistic Vaishnava, trying to arise to be liberated. Well, if you want that hard program, well, continue on. This is the easy program, man. Lord Chaitanya came to make it easy, and we're here to make it easy for the devotees. To attain the highest to the lowest. I don't care who the heck you are. It's the same mood as Lord Chaitanya. It has to be if this bhakti is going to be given. You got to be mad with ecstatic love and accept anybody who'll listen to you. That's it. Don't care. Modes of nature. Who cares about that? Do you like to hear? Do you like devotees? Because you could be the lowest and you'll get the highest here. You'll be like Minikaitam Radhas. He was so fallen. Chaitanya Charitamrita, so fallen. And just by his faith in this mad, intoxicated in avatar of mercy, he got the highest devote. He was just so ecstatic, man. He was crying, laughing, chanting like a madman, like Lalita Ganga, just by his faith in another transcendental, ecstatic madman, Nityananda. Okay? Look at Lalita Ganga. She had somehow faith in these words, and look at her now. Look at Johan. Yeah. So we must be in the real line, wouldn't you say? Doesn't that prove it? By their fruits they shall be known. You're a fruit there. Fruitcake. Johan's a real fruitcake. Now I know where they got these words. Krishna, where he
He is so fond of cake. He's a cake lover.
Yeah, cake lover, yeah. Christina's becoming a real fruitcake too, you notice? Go ahead there, Tom.
Good, bad, any, not makes consideration.
See,
Uttama,
good, bad.
Adama.
See, the modes of no consideration. This is what the meaning when Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, transcend all the modes by surrendering to me. Krishna was alive in a body. Of course, he's always alive, but he was in the body. He's Guru. The Lord, even Arjuna related as he said, "You're my Guru. You're my spiritual master." Yeah, see, that's it. See, transcend all the modes by surrendering to the word of the spiritual master. It's the word. The word they speak is beyond material dualities. Heaven and earth will pass away, but the words of Jesus Christ will not pass away. See? The words of any devotee, like Govinda was giving class yesterday. He was reading these things I wrote a long time ago or spoke. And I was myself ecstatic listening to them. See, that means God is speaking through a devotee. And when they speak the truth. And the truth is eternal. Why would anybody forget it? You only forget the Trump speeches. You think, oh, Trump, he's so amazing and everything. And then he goes and that's it. Finished. He even goes out of office after a while. People forget about him. Goes for everything. Biden, well, easy forgetter. I mean, he's forgetting himself what he says. I don't think he remembers. And everybody, all these words people are talking about, all Maya, everything you hear on Facebook, practically except a person speaking about Jesus and eternal personality. But basically, practically everything is forgettable and will be forgotten. And you know what Krishna says? Krishna told Brahma, just know anything that appears to be true without me is my illusory energy. And that's all over Facebook, man. All kinds of people speaking about things, oh, so important, everything. And it's all illusion. It's all the illusory energy of the Lord because it's without God, without Krishna. without some relationship to the eternal. See, and with Krishna consciousness is so good. It's so clear. It's so deep. It's so perfect to practice. You know, most everything is just perfect in this philosophy. I say most because sometimes there's a little interpolation here and there, and you get expected in the scriptures. But basically, it's pristine. You know, the truth, the conclusiveness. See, that could save your life, man. People, you're looking at all this bullshit over all over the world and media and entertainment, and you listen to it with belief. This goes for everybody. And if it's devoid of a relationship without the Lord, it's all his Maya. You just get entangled and you get unhappy and your heart gets polluted. Okay, by getting into that. That's why devotees, they're free. You know, even if they look at it, they see it has it's the Lord's illusory energy. They see that. Okay, so yeah. Go ahead.
The sentence, the second sentence is Uttama Adama Kichuna Kare Vichar. I have another one. Listening to you, another search word.
Okay.
The word overwhelmed.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
shall I go?
Yeah, go. Yeah, you just be free.
I like this method. This over. Well. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Antya Lila 2063. Thus,
one thing, transcendental personalities are so enlivening to talk about. People are talking about all these mundane persons. Even, I don't care how good they are. It's still not really up to snuff. It doesn't enliven the soul. So you got to see, like, the Lord is living in our heart. That's why he stays asleep, because everybody's talking about mundane persons. Even Trump, all of it, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And, you can see a lot of good people are they're into these different persons. Some persons represent the mode of ignorance, like the left. They definitely represent a very dark side, and then the right, there's a little bit of good in there, because a lot of them are actually Christians. And so, but it's still the modes, and there's not enough. You can't break free of the illusion in these conversations. See, and glorifying these mundane persons, more or less mundane. See, but when you have topics about glorifying eternal personalities, that's where salvation and beyond is accessible. And that's why we do here. This is our secret of success, is we glorify eternal personalities who have made it. These other guys, even in religion, I don't talk about them because I'm not sure they've made it. They don't have the I have to see the symptoms. We know Rupa Goswami made it. We know Jesus Christ made it. But how many of these gurus has really made it? Can you tell who they're all hiding this and that and everything? Well, I don't see any symptoms of a person actually made it beyond the mode of goodness or beyond even liberation. It's not, like some of them, these gurus are speaking liberation talks, liberation, selfless servants, all that stuff, right? I'm not sure they've actually made it. They haven't proved it. Lord Chaitanya proved it. Uh-oh. Yeah. Rupa Goswami, all these devotees prove that they made it, that you see the symptoms of that. That's your guru, man. That's your association in the world. That's your ticket out of here. That's your life raft in this world. You got to see somebody living that made it. Then what they say is not bullshit or possible bullshit, possible illusion. You got to have a life raft to pull you out. Hold on to that life raft. That's the liberator, man. You can say, no bullshit. This person's out of here. They're free. They set you free. They set people free that come to them. You can see it. You see it in the witnesses. Wow, so passionate today. But it's true, isn't it? It's amazing.
I don't feel those gurus. I don't feel them.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. That's
Neither
a
do I. I
barometer.
never did. I
So
thought they were
that's the
just.
barometer.
Yeah. That's the barometer. Yes, barometer.
Barometer.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. When this mad, intoxicated grace is on this planet, that's your ticket out of here, man. Otherwise, you're still fumbling around in this darkness, more or less darkness, and you're looking at good person. I mean, there are a lot of these gurus are good, but it's not good enough. You got to be transcendental. I mean, who's greedy for that? Do you want to go back to the spiritual world, even in this world, where the spiritual world comes to you and lives in your heart and expressing in this world and delivering people? Anybody greedy for that? Yeah, that's what's going on here. You want to get a taste of this transcendental nectar that people in the spiritual world are tasting and being enlivened by? Well, that's all here now. Yeah. Or are you happy with just the modes? Well, just give me regulative devotional service and give me the ceremonies and the festival of lights, and all of these color. Let me throw colors over you. Yeah, and it's just I've seen it in India. It's all and people get aggressive sometimes and throw colors in your eyes and you go blind and all kinds of crazy shit going on there. All because they're, just so passionate about the, all modes of nature. Are you finished with the happiness and the modes, even the mode of goodness? Do you want something more? You want to be delivered? You want to taste transcendental nectar? How many people want the real Krishna in this life? Well, that's available here in this Sangha. The real Krishna. Reality, transcendental reality forever. You want to be with God, intimate, close with God. You want to feel that Lord, that transcendental Lord? Can you see there's some feeling for God here? Are you waking up with these loud shouts? If you're not roaring, you're not representing Lord Chaitanya. It's loud shouts. So the elephantina fences are blown down. They go pop. These fences of ignorance and illusion go boom. And then, see? Got to hear some sonic booms, man. Go ahead.
This is amazing. You already did a whole purport, and I didn't read the verse yet.
It's Rupa Goswami's mercy.
I don't know. Yeah,
those verses, the Nandi slokas really got me going, man. See, it's the ecstatic worship. It all comes from that, man. To those who worship the Lord with loving ecstasy, that kind of, intimacy and just totally intoxicated, comes the understanding to how to attain the Lord. It's all that. Otherwise, if you don't power up, you got nothing to say, man. But no ecstatic worship, intimacy, you got no realization. That's why it's not working so good in the ISKCONs and all this. Until you start worshiping with deep, ecstatic, pure love of God, you can't help people very well. Prabhupada taught this nectar of instruction. Unless you're uttamadikari. See, uttamadikari means you cry, you laugh, you choke up when you worship God. Prema bhakta, you're prema bhakta. That's uttam. And the Lord's making many uttams here very quickly. This was his goal. Spontaneous devotees is pure love of God. Very quickly you come to the Uttam stage. And you don't have to be anything special. You know, the special one dwells within you and makes it all happen. He's the miracle worker. He takes our little jalopies. These things are these are cars in the junkyard. He takes them and he fixes them really nice. Makes them like sports cars, Maseratis. We have a lot of Maseratis in the making here in this Sangha, man. Read what Freddie says here.
All they see is you criticizing them and not following the rules and regulations of the Vedic injunctions.
What do you expect from owls? You know, they say that's criticism. I'm just making distinctions, man. Am I? Am I just preaching Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is the highest truth distinguished from illusion. I can't help it if they're steeped in illusion. Because if they're not, then they'll laugh at this. They'll say, my God, you know, this is the truth. Because truth is truth, no respect of persons. If you're an illusion, you're an illusion. And if you don't like it pointed out, too bad. You know, because some people want it pointed out. They're looking for the light. I mean, I'm just preaching. I'm just following Jesus. I'm following Lord Chaitanya. You know, Jesus said, if you have a light, don't put a bushel over it. No, put it on the hill and show it. Hey, man, this is the truth. Am I not speaking the truth? And I'm just saying, if you're not up to snuff, if you're not ecstatic devotee, worshiping the Lord in prema, then you can't deliver your disciples. Is that true or is it a lie? If your followers, at least a few of them, are not manifesting prema symptoms, are you a prema bhakti? Are you prema bhakti? Are you worthy to be, oh Gurudev, deliver me to Vrindavan? Are you a Vrindavan resident? Can you show people in the world that you are a real, authentic Vrindavan resident where they can look in the book? Wow, look at the symptoms of these devotees. You need me to read them? I'm going to read them again because they're so. This is a Vrindavan devotee. Do you see any devotees? Is Jaipataka like that? Is Radhanath like this? Is, you know, this verse here. Yeah, dancing and his hair standing erect. One devotee finds his body blossoming with joy, withered, his face pale. Another devotee finds his heart broken, roaring. Another devotee runs about, falling. Another devotee lies motionless. Is your guru have any of these symptoms? These are symptoms of Vrindavan residents. Are tears pouring out of their eyes, holy laughter, trembling of the heart. Because that's the authority in this world to deliver you. And no other authorities are here. And that's the truth.
You've got to shout, Guru Maharaj. They're deaf.
That's right. This is like a spoon to take the earwax out.
And Prabhupada also called devotees rascals and nonsense and right in their face.
I don't even call them rascals. You know, he was harder than I am. I'm not calling them rascals. I'm just saying you're doing the best you can. But that ain't good enough. It's not, I'm sorry, it's not good enough to give people false hope. It's a misleading. They're coming to you. Your disciples say, Gurudev, deliver me. And you have some false idea. Your conception is not clear. You need a conclusive understanding of the real path so that people can find the real path and walk the real path. Not kind of like speculate, well, you know, here's our checklist. This is your guru, your deliverer. He'll deliver you because we have an idea and the way it is. And the book doesn't teach that. The real book, Prabhupada's books, Goswami books, and the devotees, the real gurus don't teach that, and the real sadhus don't recognize that. You don't recognize it because you found better. You found the real path. The Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra is here, Really? You want deliverance? This is your protection. This is your awakening. This is your maintenance as Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. That's why I always say, stay in the circle, you idiots. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't go out, otherwise you lose Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And then Maya says, another one. Let me make this a great teacher. I'll give you this. You can have it be, live that out, man. You have it be like a great dried up prune teacher. Okay, go ahead, Tom. Sorry, I got carried away.
So this is Antya Lila 2063. Thus overwhelmed by ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a madman and recited suitable verses.
See, again, overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Then you start to recite suitable verses, because that's the devotees in their revelation. They're realizing. See, they're Ananda, and then the Chit. See, that Chit are these very intimate. See, Lord Chaitanya he was like usually just speaking about these verses that only devotees of Vrindavan could understand. He was so deep in his ecstatic worship that he would recite verses that maybe only Rupa Goswami could understand. And then Rupa Goswami would write another verse, and it would make it a little more clear for people in general. See, this is the idea. The devotee can face the sun because they're purification. They've been purified. They face the sun and they step that sun down. And people, they look at the sun, they can't understand. It's too bright. So then they bring it down and cool it down, so people can understand. Okay, chant Hare Krishna for a minute. It's starting to rain. I got to pull the generator in, otherwise it'll get all wet. I'll be right there.
I take a break also. Good too. I want to pull some earwax out of my ear with a spoon.
Krishna Prasaya Bhuttari Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Gora Haridas Maharajacharya Namini Namaste Prabhupada Devi Gora Vari Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vasachadeshari Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Chaitanya Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Chaitanya Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, Tom, go ahead.
With the comment of Govinda Das.
Oh yeah, read that.
That's it, man. There's not one day you go out on street, meet persons looking in need this.
Yeah. Okay. Read on.
With the comments or with verse?
Yeah, the verse. Whatever
Verse.
you're doing.
Okay. Word by word, in this way, Hey Mata, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being overwhelmed by ecstatic love, Bhava Vishta Hana, said crazy words, Pralapa Karila, appropriate, Tat, by reciting verses, Shloka Padya. Thus overwhelmed by ecstatic love, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke like a madman and recited suitable verses. I can continue with the next verse. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Look up another word. Look up devotion. Devotional service. Devotional service.
Devotional service.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So many.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare.
You know, this is the idea when you're serving the Lord's name and pastimes and qualities with ecstatic love, awakening. See, the spontaneous love. Then you get the only understanding that's worthwhile in this world. Everything else is illusion in the whole universe, actually. So it's only the devotees that give life to this world by their ecstatic worship. That's our scriptures. They're all written by ecstatic devotees. They have to be. Otherwise, that's the only real life in the world. If you notice, when people in the Bibles, usually they have, if you're feeling depressed, read this verse. If you're feeling anxiety, read this verse. All these things, because this takes away that unhappiness that people feel in the world because of the interactions of the modes that they're involved in. So they're turning to the Lord, and that's how the Lord is training us, conditioning us to come to Him, where the real relief is. See, so all of these scriptures, and that's why these sadhu sangha things go so long here, because they're transcendental words that are being spoken. They're very enlivening to devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam is greatly pleasing to hear in a society of devotees. See that verse? It's because they're the real life-giving words in this world, and real devotees feel that, and they're looking for that. Even the neophyte devotees are trying to take shelter of that. So this is where clarity is really good. This is this kind of conclusiveness. Our discussions help us all, the whole world, actually, the whole world of Vaishnavism, becoming more and more conclusive. Not liking these talks shows you the contamination in the Vaishnava societies. See, contaminated with other things that are not so conclusive. But ultimately, that's why one by one, people coming. This is highly purifying to have such discussions, to have such ecstatic worship, because that shows it's like a beam of light in this world, and it beams people up to the spiritual world. This is a beam of light showing here. It's like, those Star Trek things, beam me up, Scotty type thing. The beam of life is Satchidananda manifesting on the world. And this is what delivers people. We're here, to do that work. And as people come, and recognize, they have an honest heart. They're really searching for Krishna. They'll see that we're not here, messing around or speculating or cheating people, lying to them and all that. No, we're here to deliver people. The words coming here are real. The words coming here are solid. The words coming here produce the transcendental fruit of ecstatic devotion, which you got to have. That's your passport and visa for Vrindavan. If you don't have ecstatic devotion, you don't get to Vrindavan. You have to have that. In some life, you got to have a little intelligence to realize in some life, you got to have prema, the kind of prema that the devotees in Vrindavan have. Otherwise, how can you go there? How can you be with them? How can you even relate to them? If you can't relate to them here when they come as bona fide association and sadhu sangha and real guru, how can you relate to them there? That's why Prabhupada hid all this. He hid his nature as a Vrindavan devotee. Bhakti Siddhanta also, Bhakti Vinod also, because people they're not ready for that. Well, now is where whoever is ready or getting ready, because this is the Lord's will and desire for this planet, is that this starts to take more root here. And not just coming here, representing our Gaudiya Vaishnavism with rules and regulations and regulative devotional service. Lord Chaitanya came here from the get-go and gave more than that. We're here to actualize that revelation that Lord Chaitanya brought. You see here what those devotees were doing. They got together and they had intimate talks about Krishna, all about these kinds of things people are seeing here now, that the most Vaishnavas consider crazy. See, they don't know who they're worshiping, but we do. See, we know because of ecstatic worship. Okay. Go ahead there, Tom.
This is Adilila 4, verse 21-22. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great and considering me.
See, cherish is the key word. See, if one cherishes this kind of pure love of a devotee here on this planet, if you wow, I really like that. See, because the devotee themselves is cherishing their love for Krishna. They're giving respect to that. They're giving honor to that. This is their life, is that love. It's their life, literally. When Jesus said, I have life, I can give it to you abundantly. He's giving his relationship, having the Holy Spirit of devotion, worshiping the Lord. That is the life that he gave, that any devotee gives. See? So the devotee cherishes their loving relationship with the Lord. It's their root, their foundation. It's everything. Otherwise, you got nothing. Yeah. And so if one cherishes this, and so Raganuga Bhakti is, do you cherish what the devotees cherish? Do you like the worship? Do you like the way they're worshiping the Lord? Do you like that intimacy that produces so much ecstasy and tears flowing and holy laughter? Do you like to see devotees like Lalita Ganga cherishing her intimate ecstatic relationship right there publicly, right before your eyes, not caring about for outsiders what they're thinking? Do you cherish that? Do you like that? No. Well, you're not a candidate for what's being taught here. You're not a candidate for Raganuga Bhakti, which quickly leads to spontaneously awakening love of God. Quickly, in this life, sometimes even in a day or a week in some devotees. Few videos and boom, they're off flying. Okay? Not a candidate. Okay? That's why, hey, man, it takes a lot of ecstatic worship, man, to purify the planet of all this ignorance, stupidity, people not seeing that what's going on here is the greatest thing in the world. Fantastic. Go. Fantastico. Hey, greatest show on earth. See, greatest show. This is gotta be the greatest show. See, we're showing something great. See, literally. Greatest show. It's got to be the greatest show. What are you showing in this world? Politics, that ain't no great show compared to this. Vaidhi Bhakti and prancing around the stage with a big stick and a big false ego, that ain't a great show. Ecstatic devotion is a great show, isn't it? Fantastic show. Interesting. It's thrilling. It's exciting. It's purifying. It's everything you want to see in this world. Anything worthy to be seen is in that kind of show. Shows in a bottle when you're on the outside. Get out of here, man. This is the greatest show. You can't show something like that. Boring. That's why you only give an hour class a day or a week. Waiting for prasadam time to happen. I'm hooked on extravaganzas. You like extravaganzas, Tom? Extravagance? Very lavish show. You know, we just butter everybody with bhakti, man. Butter them with bhakti, devotion, prema, talks of prema, the highest ecstasy. Wildly, lavishly thrown around like Nityananda and as a throwing rice everywhere, sticking to some people, man, and they get ecstatic and dance around. Where's Christina? Oh, we got to give her a link.
But why? I just wanted to say, why do I have to think about Christina now?
Yeah, that's why. Because she needs to be here. Come on, Christina. We need another wild woman. Wild woman with leopard skin stuff. Here's your cue here. Let me get you up here. So here's your cue there. We need a wild woman up here. Lalita Gangas, she's a bit subdued today. Come on, here's the comment.
What is that subdue?
Reserved.
Oh, am I reserved?
Not really. I was just joking.
I'm just myself.
Yeah, yourself. No. Let's get the leopard up here. Okay, go ahead, Tom, in the meantime.
So, if one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of me as his son, his friend, or his beloved, regarding himself as great.
Too. Shama Sundari can also. She can also come. Anybody can come. Just get your buttocks up here if you want. Only. No pressure. If you feel inspired, just come up. Read the next verse on devotion.
Okay. Next verse is from Madhya Lila, 22:154. Devotional service in spontaneous love is vividly expressed and manifested by the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So
see, you gotta have a vivid, a key word here, man.
Yeah.
Where's the vividness? Otherwise, it's not vivid. It's not clear, right? Where is that? You know, people know they come up to that doll Barbie. She's chanting, and after a round, ecstasy starts. You start crying. They come up. Oh, in Vrindavan! In Vrindavan! Can you believe it, Tom? What's wrong with you? You something wrong with you? See, not vivid. See, they're in Vrindavan, and what's going on here is 1,000 times more vivid because you see it. Whoa, it's pretty vivid here. What's going on? Go ahead. Continue.
Devotional service and spontaneous love is vividly expressed and manifested by the inhabitants of
This is what
Vrindavan.
people need to see. They need to see the vividness. Otherwise, if it's not clear, see, it's not conclusive, it's not clear, then people don't know who the hell they're worshiping or why they're worshiping and what the real goal is. The real goal is not to go and milk the cow only. You got to milk Krishna. You got to milk that devotion, that bhakti, that bliss in his transcendental body. Okay? It got to be vividly expressed here. That's why the devotee Bhagavat, the ultimate example of a devotee Bhagavat is not to sit there like blah, 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 blah. No, the ultimate example of a vivid devotee of Vrindavan, so you can understand what is Vrindavan, because the devotee is Vrindavan. You know, it's just a devotee in ecstatic expression. Now you know, there's the Dham. The devotee is the Dham. Wherever they are, Vrindavan is. Otherwise, it's not. You can go to Vrindavan and not even really be there because you don't see the vividness of that kind of worship. The devotee is better in that way because you see, wow, this is Vrindavan, man, that kind of worship. You begin to learn something. Otherwise, you're just there, and a lot of people there out. I'm telling you, I've been in the Dhams. It's beautiful when you're an ecstatic devotee, especially. But you can go there and you'll see these people looking at, are you doing the rules and regulations the right way? Oh, why are you wearing this? Oh, you're wearing shorts there. Look on the friggin' mental platform. What kind of vividness of that? Where's the vividness of Vrindavan worship? You got to see a devotee, even though you don't see Krishna, man, but the devotee is. Devotees chanting Krishna and hearing Krishna's vibration from their own voice in ecstasy and intimacy. And you could see, whoa, that's pretty vivid. Where's your house in your home? Well, my home is Vrindavan. I just call it forth, and here it is, man. It's in a devotee worshiping Krishna in intimacy and ecstasy of that mood of those residents. Well, how do I get that? Just hang out, sadhu sangha. You stay in the Dham here. This is the Dham. The Dham, the word, you can look up the word in the Vaishnava dictionary. Dham means person or place, and the person's better because you go to the place and not see the persons. But when you see the person, you see, if they're revealing and not hiding it, okay, then you see what the real Vrindavan is. You see the highest level of worship. You see the closest place to the Lord, the God's real heart. You see the Lord's heart expressed. You know, this is rare. You know, when Lord Chaitanya saw an ecstatic devotee, Nityananda, in ecstasy, he said, oh, how fortunate I am that Krishna allowed me to see this ecstatic worship, which is so rare. So rare. Allowed me to see. Now Krishna will never leave me. You know too much now. You see this ecstatic worship, the Lord says, you know too much, man. I'm going to gradually or quickly take you and put you there. That's why the Lord, he delivered so many people. Even people that laughed at him were eventually delivered. You know that King Hamvera? He saw Lord Chaitanya when he was here or heard about him. And he laughed. He said, I just made jokes about that guy. He was going around laughing and crying and everything. He made jokes. See? But then he was delivered after Srinivas came to him. After there was a huge pastime about that, you know, he stole the books and, you know, and all that stuff. He became a great devotee, great disciple of Srinivas, very dedicated. How do you know a great devotee? They're a disciple of a real guru, man, and they have great devotion to that guru, just as much as they do to the Lord, because they see, this is my Lord is so merciful, he sent me a guru to deliver me. Otherwise, the Lord doesn't deliver you directly. How many people coming here can say, I've been delivered directly? No, the Lord sends the Guru, and then by the Guru's mercy, you get Krishna. By Krishna's mercy, you get Guru. And by the Guru's mercy, you get this intimacy with Krishna. It's always that way. That's why Lord Chaitanya came as a devotee. He came as a devotee, like a guru, the guru of the universe. But he had to come as an example to teach devotional service. Isn't that how people learn here? Same way. Sorry, but midday, I need some rest. Oh, yeah. Beautiful dream of Balaram and Anantadas. Ananta Sesha. I don't know. Yeah. See, great dreams. The devotees having great dreams, some of them.
You also have this expression of vividly in Govinda and Amon and Johan here. They are vividly examples of vivid.
Everything becomes vivid here. The devotees, as this fruit of love of God begins to manifest, you start to see a vividness of this as truth. Otherwise, how do you know this is truth? It's just in the book and just talking about it and then acting differently? No, we need to see that this is not a mythology. You know how many Indians consider Vaishnavism or this Hindu gods mythology now? A lot of them do. They think it's mythology. Why? Because they're more scientific. Because they haven't seen vivid examples. They only got family gurus who are in the family traditions for generations, and they're more or less mundane. They can't give them a vivid experience that this is real. This is what you get here. If this example is not shown, eventually Vaishnavism, if it keeps going like the materialistic Vaishnavism with all these material motives in it, it'll drop away like it did. Just like, hey man, after when Lord Chaitanya's 550 years ago, after he disappeared, it became less and then less until it was revived. Okay? And now, otherwise, if it doesn't go to this stage, it'll just drop again. Why wouldn't it? If it dropped when Lord Chaitanya was here, why wouldn't it drop now? Without this kind of example, vivid example. The devotees keep it alive. Otherwise, people go into the world. The Maya is so easy, isn't it? Isn't Maya easy? You look at a beautiful woman and you get attracted. And if you got a nice looking body, she'll like you too. And you go have sex, have babies. Very easy, but hard. Hard life. Very easy, but hard. This is Maya. Oh, very easy to please her and to be pleased by her. But very hard result. Very painful. Samsara, all that. See, so the devotees have to be here and be able and ultimately preach this to attract people out of the Maya. Otherwise, it's not look at in America how many people are coming to Vaishnavism now. Not many. When Prabhupada was here, even though he didn't preach, still, he had something attractive in him. He was a real devotee. He wrote these wonderful books, even though people didn't understand them. It's like they don't understand the Bible still, many people. But it's attractive. They don't know exactly why. Well, you come here, you'll find out why. Okay? You'll understand it. And you become more and more clear. And then you get hooked on Sadhu Sangha. You get hooked on hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, devotional books, chanted in ecstasy. Okay, boom, you're out of here now. No more samsara for you. Because you like to hear talks. So I say, I don't care. Anybody coming here, I don't care if you're negative or you're unhappy, but you like to hear talks about Krishna, you're going to Vrindavan. Especially these kinds of talks. See? And when it rubs you the wrong way, okay, you're getting purified. Okay, go ahead.
Devotional service in spontaneous love is vividly expressed and manifested by the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Devotional service that accords with their devotional service is called Raganuga Bhakti.
See,
Or
in accord, in harmony with that. See, people need to, you Vaishnavas need to become a little intelligent here. Let us help you. Let's help you with some logic. I think anybody, apply your logic here for 5 minutes even. You got to see the kind, if you want Vrindavan, if you really want Krishna of Vrindavan, then you got to see that devotional service in harmony, in accord with that kind of devotional service. Then you will say, wow, now I understand. Now I see. I only saw it in the book, but didn't see. But now I'm hearing about it. I'm hearing about its glories as well as seeing its glories. See, very important to see it. Then it does something. It attracts you. See, people are looking at Maya, right? And they get attracted. You got to look at this. You got to look at this worship in some lifetime and then say, wow, I want to be in accord with that also. Well, just become a chord. You know, a chord, you know, in guitar, your chord is it harmonious with the other chords? Okay? You come here, you'll become a harmonious chord. Otherwise, you're discord. See, your chord is dis. It doesn't fit in. Oh, go to the Vaitis over there. See if you fit in there. Usually you do. See? You vibrate the right. They come here, they say this is discord. To them, this is discord. To us, well, that's discord. It's not really discord. It's only discord if you're here and you maintain that. You don't want to harmonize what's going on here. Then it's discord here. See? But we're a discord to them. See, causes discordance, if this is expressed in this world. But hey, man, the Lord wants to deliver people. Whoever will come into harmony with this kind of worship and see its beauty. I mean, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's ecstatic. It's the greatest show on earth. It always is. Whenever the Lord and the Lord's devotees are preaching this way, it becomes the greatest show on earth. It becomes greater than the Vaidhi Bhakti show. Just like Moses. Jesus was a better show than the Moses show, even though Moses did all these things. Jesus opened deaf ears. That's better. Those who couldn't hear the spiritual vibration. Okay? He opened eyes that couldn't recognize what is really real in this world. See? He raised the dead. See, living dead, they're all walking around. They're all wood out there. It's just wood. And the fire has not ignited until the devotee ignites it. They're the kindler. You know, they're the... Otherwise, without this, there's no spark to light the wood. You ever see the flint? It's got to go... Psh, psh, psh. This is by the action of the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat. And you're a piece of wood, dead wood, you come here. By that action, into a blaze. That was good, Art. Keep going. You think I got to come up with that on my own? No way, man. That was a good one, though. Prabhupada used to do that. You know, he would come up with these great things, you know, sayings, aphorisms, all this stuff, because of the grace of the Lord, you know, his intimacy. So you all will do that. Okay? Because Krishna is Krishna, and you're a devotee, and you both get together with the transcendental Lord and have this rasa dance. All kinds of great things come from it, great sayings. So I say, people, if you transcribe these things, man, you're going to come out with jewels. So when you advance, you'll see the glory. And Govinda is like a first fruiter. He's showing you that this stuff is valuable. These sayings, you know, people, oh, I want to just hear what Prabhupada said. Well, you're going to hear what Prabhupada said here, as well as the next stage here. This is more important in that way if you want to go to the next stage, because we fluff out all these things Prabhupada wrote. So it's him and a little bit progressive, you know, a little bit more, a lot more actually. This finishes it. Go ahead.
Yes, I looked up the word the etymology of the word accord, and it means accord means also be one of heart, bring heart to heart.
There you go. Now that I like that. See, heart to heart. The Lord. Do you want to know the Lord's heart? See, that's what it comes down to. You want to hear you want the heart of a Maya. The heart of Maya is in mundane persons. Very tricky, very duplicitous, lies, cheats. You want to, this is what people, they come into accord with the heart of Maya. See, that's the Lord's shadow. See, we need to come in accord with the Lord's heart, which is pure devotional service. See, spontaneous devotional love of God, the love of his devotees, the personal potency of the Lord. We got to come, that's the Lord's heart. This is what he keeps hidden. And that we've been empowered and ordered to expose again. The Lord wants it, Kali Yuga. Now it's time to arise, love of God, the heart of the Lord, come into accord, heart to heart with the Lord. See, this is why it says, chapter 1, Adi Lila, or 1 or 2. The devotee and the Lord share the same heart. See, they're heart to heart. They have the same purpose. They have the same understanding. See? The same drive. The same value system. This is so important. You want to know the Lord's heart? You have to see it on a devotee. Otherwise, directly, very hard. You're all polluted with all this heart to heart with Maya. Heart to heart with even these motivated gurus. Many of them, they're not purified yet. They don't even know what it is. You're heart to heart with them, and you can't, and they're out there taking a shot and ready to leave the planet and take you with them because you believe in them. They're still heart to heart with Maya. Krishna's not helping them and saving them and showing that's a bunch of bullshit, man. He's helping a lot. This is usually Guru Aparad. This is Vaishnava Aparads. He's showing more to people that are not even in Vaishnavism than he's showing to these persons. And in Christianity too, a lot of persons people that are just genuinely spiritual have more understanding of the bullshit going on in the Maya than what they do. Okay? So it's no guarantee just because you're a Vaishnava or a Christian or a Muslim that you're going to see the Lord's Maya and how it's working now very strongly. Okay? But he's showing us, and he's showing some other people. The advantage we have here is we see its relationship to the Transcendental Lord, and that it's his will working through this world now. And he's disposing and collecting at the same time, Not that it, doesn't matter. Our bodies may or may not survive. But so what? Our spiritual body is active, isn't it? In most of us. Spiritual body is active and growing, right? Isn't that what it's all about? This will grow forever. This is why Jesus said it's finished, man. For many devotees here, it's finished. Your spiritual bodies are activated and being nurtured. That'll just, say a nuclear bomb goes off, boom, you just go into the pastimes of the Lord here and continue on just nourishing that spiritual body, and then whatever little piddly desires we got are finished. The main thing is attraction to Krishna. We got that here, many of us, to the point of prema. We are recipients of Lord Chaitanya's mercy in the line, and have the great privilege to share this with others. It's awesome, man. It's really, I don't know. How did I get so lucky? How did I get so lucky to get this? How did I get so lucky to have friends like you? I thought I'll never have, nobody can understand me. Nobody cares about this. Nobody cares about Lord Chaitanya, truly, practically.
But did we get so lucky by knowing you? It's mercy. It's only mercy. We did not deserve anything. It's only mercy.
Yeah.
Like Christiana says. Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
Like Christiana says, you have your priorities straight.
Yeah.
And not misled by the external happinesses, external so-called qualities.
Yeah, and see, the only way we can get our priorities straight is by ecstatic worship of the Lord. And then he gives us the right priorities. He gives us everything. He gives us the right path, the right door, the real knowledge, the real understanding, teaches us how valuable this is, everything. He becomes like, you become as good as Bivla Mangal Thakur. And you'll understand that verse. Lord Krishna, that person with a peacock feather is my Shiksha Guru. The Lord becomes your personal instructor. Didn't Jesus say that? If that's not happening in your life, and the Lord is not your personal instructor also, as well as the Vaishnava, the devotees are they're not too proud to be taught from outside and from inside. We're taught by the Vaishnava scriptures from the outside, from each other also, and also from the Lord. I mean, we're protected in so many ways from this Maya. It's wonderful. Okay? And so our work here is to wake people up so that the gardener, here is the true vine. The conclusive understanding, conclusive experience of the real transcendental Lord beyond all of this unlimited Maya here, illusions. Every step, everywhere you look is an illusion. See? So here's the real vine. Here, this sadhu sangha is the real vine that Jesus was talking about. And people come into the sangha, then the gardener kicks in, the super soul starts to instruct you from within. It's wonderful, isn't it? Isn't it wonderful relationship, Lalita? Don't you like this? The Lord in your own heart.
I love it.
You love it? I'll give you $1 million. I'll give you $2 million. Give that up. Keep it? $1 billion. I'll give you as much as Bill Gates has.
No. Keep it.
We'll make you a vaccine czar in this world.
Oh my God.
What do I have on it? No.
We'll give you a house like Bill Gates. You can't get within 10 miles of it. It's such a fortress.
Guru Maharaj, I'm happy with a few meters for a bed and a chair.
And a chair.
And a computer. Enough.
Yeah, it's trippy. This whole thing is amazing, man. Read what Bhakta Tom says.
Accord, early 12th century. Come into agreement, also agree, be in harmony. From Old French, accorder, agree, be in harmony. From vulgar Latin, accordare, make agree, literally be of one heart.
See, make agreed. This is the thing. That's what we're doing. We're making an agreement. See, the Lord does it automatically. All we do is just worship the Lord in this and become more and more conclusive about and come in harmony with the Lord's mind and heart. See, the Lord's mind are these scriptures, and the Lord's heart is this ecstatic worship. Isn't that what the Lord showed? He loved the scriptures and he loved ecstatic worship. That's God. He came personally to show this. And when you see a real devotee, they're like this. The scriptures are their life, and this ecstatic worship is their life. And they give that to you. You come into agreement. After a while, you say, very good. This is the thing. The devotees, they did that. Lord, they started to get this ecstatic voice, and they said, very good, very good. See, they come into agreement. It's great. The devotee knows it. It's great. And you start thinking, yeah, I love it, man. That's what your witnesses are doing. You're coming in agreement and saying, yeah, this is great, man. God, I didn't know this existed. before. Hey, that's the witness program. Otherwise, people won't believe one crazy guy and ecstatically worshiping. But when they see a whole group of them, then it's like that's why the Lord, Jesus sent them out he didn't send them one by one, two by two. Because when there's two there, you think there's a witness. We got more than that here, man. You guys are just witnessing. You get up on Facebook, Gore, he ain't as crazy as we thought, man. It's just really good stuff, man. You're chanting and ecstasy. Oh man, it's so nice, this intimacy with Krishna. Whoa. See, this is spontaneous glorification from your own experience. Of coming into agreement, coming into accord, coming into harmony. Becoming a chord of this, where we strum. See, we're strumming in one mind, in one chord, because this is Vrindavan, man. Vrindavan chord. Broom. So I say it's the greatest sound in this universe. You'll see people like, broom, they'll hear this chord. And the other, they'll say, boy, that's all discordant. Let's get out of this Maya chord. Let's get with this chord being strummed here. It's really very deep, very wonderful. When I pause, you can go on if you want.
Yeah, but I'm kind of overwhelmed with. Okay.
Oh, really? No. What are you overwhelmed? What? Explain.
For some people, it seems very hard to tune into that quality that is transcendental. To tune into that transcendental quality, they are so I have to empathize with them because they I cannot help empathizing with them, and I really understand that some people, they really want to have a healthy body, and yeah.
Well, this is everybody makes advancement just making contact with devotees, just automatically. And sometimes, the crust is very thick and it just takes time. So not everybody's going to get what we're talking about right in this life. Yeah. It's a process that goes on. I mean, we live forever, actually. And so devotees make contact and can go as far as they can go. A lot of people will die Vaidhi Bhaktas, they got association with Prabhupada and started their journey out of this. And they made it to that level of Vaidhi, and they'll never change. Like some of the, like this Garga Muni, the brother of Brahmananda, and Brahmananda too. They'll just kind of, they're really dedicated to Prabhupada. They don't want to know anything else, and they don't want to go any deeper than what they do. They're satisfied, and that's the way it is. They'll just go and Prabhupada will be there because they really love Prabhupada. A lot of people do, and it'll continue instructing them until they can understand these principles that we're teaching. Otherwise, it's kind of like, Yamaraj teaches his Yamadutas, and he never tells them about these intimate things until he saw the sign. See, the sign was the Vishnu Dutas came and showed their glories to his servants. See, and then they came and asked questions. And then he thought, okay, this is the time now. And so then he started to share these deeper conceptions of
truth that are beyond what he was teaching them before. That was more Vaidhi, more karmic stuff. The stuff about karma and all that. So anyway, he helped them advance, but it was based on what they saw. See, they saw these Vishnu Dutas. See, and then they became to the point of they saw they were stronger than the strength that they got from Yamaraj. See, this is what's going on also for Vaishnavas. They're seeing this. See, Prabhupada is a servant of Lord Krishna, just like Yamaraj is a servant. But different servants are empowered and inspired to teach a certain way and certain topics. Okay? So here, this is also connected, but it's a deeper level of the next teaching. But who is ready for it? Some people will just see it and they might not inquire. Some people will see it and also be a little bewildered like the Yamadutas, and they will inquire. Well, help us understand. Some people come here and say, help us understand. I have people, they ask me, well, why are you teaching like this? Why are you doing this? And then I can explain. So people are at different platforms of consciousness and ready for different things or not ready for it, But do we stop preaching? No, we just keep the same message. And, those who are meant to come, they're coming, it's one by one, gradually people. And sometimes they come for a while and then they leave for a while because the world draws them. And maybe they come back, maybe another lifetime. Who knows?
So the sign is, if one shows appreciation, then we can communicate.
Yeah, I mean, you can even communicate if they're not showing appreciation. Sometimes you might be signaled to it's like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya didn't show appreciation for the teachings, and so because of the relationship, it depends on your relationship. If you have some relationship, even the person is not appreciative yet, you can preach to them a little bit. It depends. If they go, hey, then maybe you don't want to go too deeply.
Respectful distance.
Yeah, I mean, a lot in preaching, a lot of it is relationship. You got to establish some relationship rapport with people. So there's some trust between yourself. They could see you're not a madman or something.
Yeah. I have some problems with that because people, they take a distance from the beginning. Yeah, but that's my story. Okay, I will find out. Okay. Can we go on?
I told you when I pause and it's the ball's in your court.
Okay. And so devotional service that accords with their devotional service is called Raganuga Bhakti, or devotional service following in the wake of spontaneous loving service. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oof. I don't know where to proceed.
Okay, well, this is actually an important topic too. So a lot of devotees, they think that you have to be qualified by following the course in Vaidhi Bhakti and then rising to the Raganuga platform, then automatically you just worship the Lord on a spontaneous platform. And Prabhupada has expressed that sometimes, but he contradicts himself at other times too. That's just how it is. You need a bona fide Raganuga, spontaneous devotee that's empowered by the Lord to teach the details, to reconcile these difficulties, So, because the real deeper teaching is in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that it's by, and Johann quotes this verse all the time, It's by the association of devotees who chant the holy names with great ecstatic devotion that you can attain this devotion, so that you can enter love of God. You got to come into accord with that devotion by being around that vibration, be around those ecstatic chanters, come into their sadhu sangha, that level, not just the Vaidhi level, people just doing ceremonies, but this Vrindavan Bhav, great ecstatic devotion, is not manifest. So you know, you're not coming into accord with it just with those persons, you know, doing the ceremonies, and they're not ecstatic and showing this ecstatic path, this path of prema. It's called the path of prema. Path of prema is, you gotta, oh, where's the path of prema? Where is it? Where is it out there? Do you see the path of prema out there, Tom? Anywhere? What does it look like?
Path of prema.
See, you got to look. A path is a path, right? Where is that path? It's a devotee manifesting prema and worshiping in ecstasy. There's the path right there. What do you think Jesus meant? I am the way. I am the path.
Follow the shepherd.
I'm the path. Don't you see? This ecstatic worship is the path itself. You see how it's the truth? It's the ultimate truth. It's spontaneous devotion service. It's the ultimate life. It's ecstatic worship. It's everything. See, Jesus was not wrong. That's why I love that verse. It's conclusive when you hear this explanation. Otherwise, you think some speculations. Oh, Jesus is the only way, the life, and the truth, and no one comes to the Father but them. But they don't know what it is. They don't know what he actually said. I'm the path of this ecstatic worship is the path. I'm the truth. That ecstatic worship is the truth. I'm the life. That ecstatic worship is the life. See? Where do you hear a purport like that? Only from a madman. Wild with bliss and ecstasy. Nobody else could understand. I couldn't understand this unless I could penetrate that strata. Straddle that.
Yeah, I feel that there are. It's personal. It's also your personal timing, your personal approach, what brings you to the spontaneous Raganuga Bhakta, or the other one with rules and regulations, because it's your
mood.
Yeah, your stage, your consciousness, your stage consciousness. Hare Krishna. The third verse that popped up about devotional service is Madhya Lila 22:108. There are two processes of practical devotional service. One is regulative devotional service, and the other is spontaneous devotional service.
So yeah, and you need to see, when I came to Krishna consciousness, all that was available was regulative devotional service. Nobody was there and say, hey, would you like to follow this? We have a group over here that follows spontaneous devotional service. And this other group does regulative. That wasn't here. It wasn't here for me. It wasn't there for you either, was it? You know, so there's only one way, that way, or the highway. Get out of here if you're not, interested in worshiping Krishna like this. And the majority of devotees, that's their qualification. But some devotees, they even come into this world for the spontaneous path. Okay? So that's what we're here to do. See, and therefore they have to see the qualities of the manifestation. They have to see that path here being walked by experienced devotees. Otherwise, nobody knows. They didn't know when I came because everybody's following Vaidhi. That's all they know. They think this is the only way to worship Krishna. See? Even though the book's saying that, right? The book is saying there's two paths. Even now, most Vaishnava don't recognize, no, this is not true. This is not real. And they can't analyze the actual qualities. They just speculate because they're just following Vaidhi, even as so-called Raganuga Bhaktas, but they don't have the symptoms of a spontaneous devotional devotee. You know what spontaneous devotee is? They chant Hare Krishna and they become so ecstatic that real knowledge comes from their mouths there. See, spontaneously. Spontaneous ecstasy awakens by the grace of the Lord being in their hearts and alive now and awakened. And spontaneously purports come, understanding of the scriptures comes, and all that stuff. See? You got to see those symptoms. And now the way it is, most people still can't see that. They still, no, what you're doing is wrong and blah, 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 you know. Okay, well, I'm not going to stop preaching truth because some days people will understand it. Some days somebody will transcribe these words and they will be read by devotees who appreciate them. And then they will know where the real path is because the highest truth, they distinguished a higher truth than Vaidhi. Nobody's done that very well or enough in the body and spoke it, not just read it, have it in the book. You know, how do you find this two different paths? Nobody even knows. They don't even teach it in the so-called Raganuga Sanghas because they're not it. You got to be it, man. And then the Lord teaches perfectly through you and gets people through to become like that. You got to be authorized. You got to have that qualification that comes from the Lord's anointing. Otherwise, you can't help people. You know, you just speculate and you're not an example. You got to be an example. Don't give me this bullshit. Oh, I don't show this bhakti. Okay, well, then nobody gets. Whether you're really honest or not, who knows? Maybe you're speculating what real bhakti is, which I've seen. I've seen in these Raganuga Sanghas. They speculate what they think, if they think it's an intellectual kind of ras in their minds. It's all mental. Nothing, the heart is not even awakened. And they see a person's heart's awakened and they go, what's wrong with you? Or they criticize, blah, blah, blah. I'm a Raganuga devotee. I write Raganuga books. Ooh, I hate that what Gohari is doing. Ugh. And you're writing books on Raganuga Bhakti. How crazy. They say I'm crazy. I think that's insane. It's all right. I'll stick to my revelation and realization. You stick to yours. You keep writing crazy books, and you hate Raganuga Bhakti. You're not purified to like real Raganuga devotees who are the book in life. That's why I say just transcribe what the hell you hear here. What you see. You know, that's the book. You know, the book is a devotee, man. What did they do with Jesus, the best book in the world? The best book is what he spoke. It automatically becomes the best book. Hey, the best book is what you speak, man. You got bestsellers here. Nobody speaks like this. I can't speak like this unless it's empowered by the Lord. Hey, best book. You want a bestseller? You want to make money? Print these friggin' books. Even if you want to make money. They'll become a bestseller because the Lord, hey man, the words that come from the Lord by revelation, by ecstatic worship is the best book in the world. It's got to be. Right? Is that logical? Is that clear? Do I have to yell it louder? The best book is the book of devotee is ecstatically worshiping Krishna. And the words that come from that's got to be the best book in the world, best book in the universe. Got to be.
Very logical.
Very logical. See? Satchidananda book. We need Satchidananda books. Books come inspired by the Ananda, the word, to those who worship Krishna with Ananda, with loving ecstasy. I give them my understanding, which is different from all the bullshit you hear from speculators. So passionate, Lord. Why are you so passionate about this stuff? Because it's worthy.
Day.
It's worthy
Because
to
it's
be.
day.
I think he's wanted to say this for a while. He's waiting for the right timing. Can you imagine? You print that. Can you imagine printing that? That'll knock the socks off of the PhDs. They never even dreamed of this kind of talks, this kind of conclusiveness. You take that one sentence being said here, much less of all the thousands of sentences being said here. Hey, man. This is a word of a devotees who are entering the path of prema. You guys, that's why you guys got something to say. You guys come up there and do your classes because you get something from your revelations. The Lord is showing you stuff. Therefore, you're not just like putting pictures of Krishna up, two-dimensional pictures. Krishna looking like this. Oh, by the way, what have you realized in Krishna consciousness? Oh, it's not. I'm nothing. No, I'm nothing. Let me just put the kirtan on. You just see over this. I don't exist. No, you do. But didn't you get anything in your relationship with the Lord yet? I don't know. Yeah, this is fruits going here, man. People getting up in the Sangha, they can't wait to do a nice class and worship Krishna in ecstasy. And then the words come spontaneously, the revelations, they give life to people. This is the kind of association here. You got such a guru that makes gurus. Yeah, it shows you the Lord is really empowering this situation. I can't do this on my own. The Lord is actually working here. He's working on you. He's making your jalopis into Maseratis. What does Freddie say here?
Freddie, the best book is walking self-realized book. The best book is a walking self-realized book.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then you put it into a book, it becomes the best book too. Why not? You know, the best book, that is the New Testament also was from devotees who are worshiping the Lord in intimacy, and their understanding is what is in the book. This is what we take shelter. That's called remnants of a devotee's worship. What do you think this book, Chaitanya Charitamrita is? It's remnants of the devotee's worship of Krishna. These are the words that come from ecstatic. He had to be empowered by that ecstatic worship. Otherwise, his book would be worthless. This is why anybody writing books about Raghunuga Bhakti that don't have this ecstatic relationship, what they say is just that can't be very good. You got to be an example of being purified by ecstasy worship. What does Johan say here?
Johan Dumont, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 12, verse 119. The transcendental mellows generated from the dealings between the gopis and Krishna cannot be tasted by means of fruitive activity, yogic austerities, speculative knowledge, regulative devotional services, mantra, yoga, or meditation. This sweetness can be tasted only through the spontaneous love of liberated person who chant the holy name with great ecstatic love.
There you go. See, through a liberated person. Again, person. Not by just that. So anybody interested in that? Because you got to have a liberated person that is manifesting spontaneous devotional ecstatic love. Manifesting it before your eyes. And it's through them. See, then you start...
Personalism.
Yeah. Then you start to feel it. Yeah. It's like, that pastime. People can look on YouTube. This is very instructive. A devotee. He explained, he went to see Prabhupada, him and his friend. He went to see his friend, and he caught Prabhupada in his room chanting in ecstasy, and tears were coming to his eyes. And all of a sudden, they looked at him because of their faith and closeness, proximity. They saw a devotee chanting the holy name. It was through his intimate, ecstatic chanting that was being revealed to them, because they just happened to pop in to see an intimate thing like that. And they started to cry. Because the Prabhupada was crying and they had faith in him. And so that's how you get it. Now they're getting really purified. But the problem was, and I'll tell you, this is the problem. Then they leave the room and they never think anything of it. They just have that experience and they never cultivate it. Never cultivated. Prabhupada, still, it wasn't his thing. He was doing it in his room, having his ecstasies in his room and writing it. And occasionally it slips out.
Yeah.
See? And the way he stayed not ecstatic so much outside, he talks about politics and this and that, which is not very interesting to a devotee, but he does it necessarily just to help people make a bridge.
But they say Prabhupada was always ecstatic. Always.
Yeah, he's always ecstatic. Yeah, because even it just, whether you see it visibly or not, it's just like they say, Shukadev Goswami wouldn't mention the name Radha so much because it would throw him into ecstasy that he couldn't stop. He wouldn't speak the whole Bhagavatam. See? It's like that. Just like you see, I don't always look ecstatic, right? But you put a verse of Rupa Goswami before me, what happens?
Whoops. It works. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like it's so attractive to God in their own heart that the high waves of the Lord's ecstasy just awakens. See, that's why in the later pastimes of the Lord, he was steeped in that that intimate, ecstatic verses composed by Swarab Damodar and Ramananda Roy or by previous devotees. Really, he would just stay and just relish mellows, okay, and left teaching these preliminaries to other devotees. So that we hear the mixture preaching like that, because you gotta see, is your guru really qualified? See, I'm teaching that now. I'm teaching people the birds and the bees. Hey man, is your can your guru do like that? Is it proof that the Lord in his highest ecstasy in Vrindavan is it in them and accessible? And can he preach the what you need to know about this and glorify things properly and put everything in its place? What is the mode of goodness? What is its nature and distinctions, passion, ignorance? Can he show you the liberation? And liberation teaching is not the same as ecstatic, pure, devotional mellows. See, all these stuff. You kind of have a little bit of everything at this point, anyway. Otherwise, how will people understand these things? Go ahead. What?
You can also feel. I feel that you also can feel in when a particular person, what he needs, what's his next step of progress, because every individual has another position, another karma, another situation.
Mm-hmm.
So like for some people you recommend this path, but yeah, and yeah, I feel this intuitive, spontaneous.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, if the Lord informs me something, then I share it. They call that in Christianity given a word. Given a word from the Lord. And so devotees is the same relationship. If you have intimacy with the Lord, he gives you a word in relationship to somebody. That's what I tell people sometimes. Sometimes they don't like it. Yeah, maybe, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm not getting it right or something, or maybe I am, but
Maybe that's purification. They
yeah,
need a step. That's
yeah,
purification. They don't like it,
yeah,
but it works.
but it
It
works.
brings them. It brings
Yeah,
progress to that
yeah,
specific person.
yeah. Or it's an inspiring word, it's a word that helps them, um, like directly where they feel inspired and encouraged. So, yeah,
Yeah,
this is just part of being a devotee and intimacy with the Lord. He uses us to preach Krishna consciousness in this world. And this is on the Raganuga Bhakti, true Raganuga. I'd never seen this being there's a lot of people just prancing around, thinking, speculating what it is, or they're just not really empowered with this. I mean, this is no small thing. Ask any guru that actually, if Prabhupada actually came to them in a dream and instructed them that this kind of teaching has his approval. Obviously, they didn't, because they're not teaching it, right? And I am, or Krishna is, through this fool. So that's why this order is very important, and Krishna blessing it also. Because told my second disciple, because of your guru, because you came to this guru, I'm giving you my darshan. Otherwise, she wouldn't have had it. That shows you how much potency there is in this preaching, whether people accept it right away or not. But this is the truth. You can ask, I guarantee you that, and no guru has, I'll tell you why I guarantee this. No guru has been given such an order to teach spontaneous Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous devotion, because if they were, they would. And not only if they could do this in an unauthorized way, but the thing is, the result won't come. It has to be blessed by the Vaishnavas and Krishna. And this was, and that's why it works here. That's why you see people, fruit of ecstatic devotion. Wake up, you crazy people.
Proof is in the pudding.
Proof is in the pudding. Come on,
Oh.
don't you want this? This is great. It's on the table. It's on the shelf, man. Man, it's for sale. It's cheap. We cheapened the price here. You turn on your camera. You don't even have to come, man. Hey, man, you can't go to the temples. They're all closed. Most of them. Closing the temples. Oh, you can come here. Just turn your camera on. We'll give you Vrindavan. They can't even give you Vrindavan. You can't even see this kind of bhakti. Here you can see. Turn your camera. There it is, right in your face. You're looking at it, man. What is Vrindavan like? Well, you're looking at it. What are the feelings of devotees like in Vrindavan? Well, you're looking at it. Does it spark you a desire? You also want this? Are you like Janaki? She's watching the devotees ecstatically chanting. Are you thinking, like, I want this? That's Raganuga. Therefore, she will get it if she wants. Whatever she wants, Krishna will give her.
Yeah. So what it takes
already.
Sometimes, yeah, I know. Sometimes he holds back certain things until you really, then you get really, then he, does it. Go ahead. What?
So what it takes for Vaidhi Bhakti to get out of that habit, of that structure, and to jump into Raganuga Bhakta Sangha, is that he has to see symptoms. Some spark has to be touched.
Mm-hmm.
That there has to be, yeah, it has to be visible. Has to be a moment of communication with the Raganuga Bhakta, so that they can jump.
Yeah, that's the qualification. Let me show you that what I'm saying is right on the money. Uh-oh.
We can still hear you. Now there's no sound also. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Wow, this is very
You
interesting.
can still hear. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I've heard you say, you did say okay, and then
You
sound
know,
disappeared. Hare Krishna, yes?
when the temples were closed in Belgium, I wrote emails to the devotees and to the temples because they sent emails to tell all the devotees that the temples were closed, and they still have my email address. They would have regrets later. And I invited everybody then to the Sangha here, but nobody came. Nobody came.
You invited some people?
Yeah, everybody in Belgium. When the temples were closed, I say, here, you can come. This is never closed.
Well, this is so deep, man. Yeah, this is really deep stuff. Let me show you. I want to show something here. Let's see here. Prabhupada stories. Yeah, I'm going to show you this book. If it's here, I think it's here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Oh boy. Oh, here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah. I think this is it. Let's see here. Ah, there we go. No, that wasn't it. Nope. Okay. Ah, here we go. All right. I think I found. Okay. Vishwanath. Why is this here? Okay. Okay. Here it is. Okay, this is a great book. You guys might like getting it. It's on ISKCON Desire Tree. Okay. So this is on Raganuga Bhakti. And this is Rag Vartma Chandrika by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So, when one's devotion is prompted by orders received from the revealed scriptures, then it is called Vaidhi Bhakti. But when it is prompted simply by spiritual greed, then it is called Raganuga Bhakti. And this is kind of a contradiction. The Lord just showed me something now. Got a word from him. Okay? Never saw this before. They're both they're both prompted by the words of the scriptures. But what words is the question? See? So some words teach the path of Raganuga Bhakti. So that prompts Raganuga, spontaneous devotional feelings. But some words of the scriptures, those devotees don't see this that are Vaidhi candidates. They see the words about rules and regulations and all that. But within also the scriptures are the words that teach the Raganuga path. See? And people are spontaneously attracted to that, to those words. See, that's why the word of Jesus and the word of Moses prompted a different way of worship. See, the words of Jesus did the more Raganuga, the spontaneous, and the words of Moses, which were also in the scriptures, were in the mode of rules and regulations. So there's that little contradiction there that's kind of important, little nuance to see. Okay. So the word pravakta in the previous verse means being fixed in devotional practices. The two kinds of candidates for devotional service, Vaidhi and Raganuga, should have fear. Wait, the two kinds of candidates for devotional service, Vaidhi and Raganuga, should have fear of scriptural injunctions and intense spiritual greed, respectively. So, fear of spiritual injunctions, that's kind of interesting. In other words, the injunction said you go to hell if you don't worship God. Okay? You gotta have to be so the motivator is fear. You don't want to go to hell, of course, right? And you have faith in the scriptures. So you'll try to do what it says in the scriptures. And the other is greed, respectively. Okay? You see, now this is where the Raganuga, you're going to see. You got to see this kind of worship, and then you get this greed, the desire for it. See, sparks the desire. Not everybody has it. People look at that and say, oh, I don't like that. Give me the scriptures, I want to worship on the more reverent. That's,
but if you felt it once, you want it.
Yeah. That was an interesting thing with Moses. It was the same kind of thing. Is Moses went up to the mountain and had this intimate dialogue with God. He comes down and says, hey, come on up here with me. It's really wonderful to have this with the Lord. No, we'll die. They didn't want to have it. No, we're not. No, you go up there, and just give us some, something that you get there. And so because they were unwilling to go through the purification, because, Moses, it says his hair turned white and all that. In other words, a symbol of purity. He got purified when you get close with God, you're going into a fire and you gotta, ready for the false ego to be purified. People, you come here, man, you get what Jesus, you get the same thing that John the Baptist predicted about Jesus. He's going to baptize you with fire and the Holy Spirit. It's the same thing here. You come here, you'll be set on fire, and that fire will purify you, and then the Holy Spirit will come. Isn't that funny? The same thing that happened with Jesus happening here for the Vaishnavas. It must be pretty powerful, man. Same symptoms. You come, I'm just looking, people come here, they're set on fire. Their conditioning burns up, man. I saw it right before my eyes. Lalita Ganga's conditioning burning up, man. Look at her now, man. She's more beautiful than Miss America. Because of bhakti, man. Because of that kind of chanting is beautiful, wonderful. This is the most wonderful thing on this planet, man. It's only the real life in this world is see chanters like this, or any devotee. Devotees are they're the life of the planet. Whether you're a Christian or it doesn't matter, Muslim, if you have pure love of God, love for that transcendental, eternal Lord, you're welcome on this planet, man. Maybe the world doesn't welcome you, but you are a welcome gift to the planet. You're a breath of fresh air in this cesspool here. Yeah. See, Shama Sundari, she confirms it also. So, okay. So, Srila Rupa Goswami personally giving the following definition of lobha, sacred greed. When a heart yearns for the sweetness of the moods of Krishna and his eternal associates of Raj, and when one is not prompted by scriptural injunctions or logical arguments, then that is the definition of sacred greed. Okay, here's practically how it shows up. When you see a devotee worshiping the Lord in the very intimate, ecstatic way, and you think, wow, I also want to worship like this. And yet then, and you're not deterred by those Vaishnavas who say, what, you're going to Gauri? So he's not qualified to worship like that, and you're not qualified either. You got to go through all these rules and regulations. You got to take sannyas. Oh no, you got to go through a householder, then you go to renunciation of vanapras, and then sannyas, and then you can do that. If you say, oh, okay, well, let me leave. Let me not go there. Okay, you don't have the lobha. Okay? You don't have the greed. Go ahead.
I always ask myself, and what about the women? Because those men, they leave their family, they go vanaprastha, then they become sannyasi, and those women?
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, this, you're
When
by
will
the...
they become an elevated devotee?
Oh, well, when the husband dies, they have to jump on the fire and die.
Next. Follow the banana. Follow the banana in the fire.
They got to jump on the fire too. But usually, you know, sannyas is very hard to. It's still, you know, you're trying to renounce your way, and then when you so-called completely purified, then you get some ruchi. But it's very struggle, very hard. You know, the sannyasis they have now is all. It's not a real sannyas. It's preaching. They out there, they still have big false egos and there's still identifications, all that. They just go around and talk about blah 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 blah. It's like a job, more or less. I mean, there's probably sincere ones too. You know, hey, yeah, you know, okay. But you know, you got to get this grace, man. This is really the only way. You got to have the grace, like that's here. We're flooded with this grace, man. You know, it's just, you know, look at it. I don't have to depend to actually get titles. You guys are giving this guy titles, not even wearing a dhoti. How come, you know, could you imagine you get these guys without dhotis and you never give them a title? They need the props. They need the rubber stamp. I don't have any approval. No, nobody will approve of what I'm preaching except real devotees or the Lord is showing. Oh, Prabhupada approved of it. Did he say, this has my approval? Isn't that interesting that Prabhupada approves his preaching, but none of his disciples, most of them don't approve. You know, Janaki approved. See, now you're coming into accord with Prabhupada's real desire, obviously, right? And he shows you. Same thing. Johan approved. See, you approved with the one who approves, and then therefore you get the real gift. Okay? But most of the disciples of Prabhupada, they don't approve of this. Well, too bad that you don't get this. You guys, Johan said, I'll give you, you know, you were attracted to ISKCON, you know, and you're approving of this. So therefore you get... Well, you went out and distributed some cookies, didn't you?
Yeah. That, but I was not attracted to ISKCON. I was
attracted to Krishna. You're waiting for Raganuga to show up. None of the gurus could impress you. You know, what is this? These guys prancing around the stage, man, trying to look good. The big sticks and all that. Yeah, no big stick here. Just the big stick of truth. And that's what these guys, they don't like to be punished with the stick of truth, do they? They want to carry that big heavy stick around. I'm trying to help them. Hey man, get rid of that big stick. They just beat them with the truth, man. Bam, bam. They don't like it. I ain't gonna let go of this stick. Nah, I can't let go of this. You don't need it, man. Look at this fool. You don't need a stick. They call him bigger. They got, this Gaur Hari Das, amongst his followers anyway, has bigger titles that they can't even dream of. They would never take. Even in Narayan Raj's group, amongst his, there's no disciples amongst them that will say that you're a Srila. No, yeah, you're only at best Bhaktivedanta teacher, and you're not, unless you got real bhakti, you're not even a real Bhaktivedanta. Here, my students, I get more titles, that even ISKCON, they don't approve of you having a Srila. That would be like Prabhupada.
It is.
And I don't even have a, that shows you truth is more strong. Truth is stronger than anything.
Yeah.
If people knew what was going on here, they would really flip out, because it's amazing. The amount of the Lord's grace here. It's truly Lord Chaitanya's grace place.
They hang me.
Read that, Tom.
Johan de Mont, what you just read, Acharya Chila Gaura Haridas Maharaj, I was crying for 6 years to be in the pastimes of Krishna and gopis. And through your mercy, Acharya Chila Gaura Haridas Maharaj, I am now in the pastimes. Thanks for your mercy.
Yeah, and you can see that he has the symptoms of being attracted to the gopis and their way of worship. You can see demonstratively, wild in ecstasy and all that. All those symptoms are there, and so it's authentic. It's real. He's not joking. Every day he's very inspired to relish this relationship, and very mercifully. This mercy flows, and people are picking it up now. And so proof is in the pudding. The Lalita Ganga also, there you can see the fruit of this ecstatic love is very prominent now. Yeah. So, yeah. And you see, that's the loba that you need, stuff like that. Or you meet the devotees and you think, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have it that strong, but even a little bit, even like, wow, I really like the way they're worshiping. I would also like to worship like that. And then you come into accord, right? Come into accord. Get the, you approve. See, when you got to approve of what Prabhupada approved of. If you approve of what's going on here, you get the approval of Prabhupada to get this also. If these,
when he wrote, yes.
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
he wrote this, he started crying. He said,
"Oh wow, yeah, yeah." Okay, so after hearing about the moods, such as transcendental conjugal mood toward Krishna or of his associates of the gopis, then one need not wait for suitable sanctions from the revealed scriptures or logical arguments. So after hearing about the moods, such as the transcendental conjugal mood towards Krishna, see, after hearing about that mood, so you got to hear from a devotee who is relishing mellows. See, you got to hear that mood is shown by them relishing these verses in ecstasy. Those moods you have to see and think, wow, that's very attractive. I like this. I hear over and over again devotees that have come here. They tell me, Janaki, she said, when I saw you worshiping, I knew that I really wanted this. Lalita's shaking her head too, obviously her also. See, so you got to see it, and then if you don't let that people say that, or your mind says, well, I'm not qualified, I can't get this. I have to go through the process of the rules and the strict following rules, regulations, and move up the ranks. Oh, I cannot go there and get this. See, you don't have the greed to overcome that. That happens. Some people have left here because they listen to preaching like that. Oh, you're not qualified to go and, he's not qualified to have that. And you're certainly not qualified. Stay here, follow the rules or regulations, and then it'll all just develop naturally. And it never does, because that's not the way. It's this way. See, you got to know this. Only the ecstatic devotees who are preaching this know this, and are that of mercy preach this. You listen to this word here, you get it. You listen to those words, you get what it says. You don't get this. See, you're stopped by the rules and regulations. You think, oh, I ain't qualified to get this. No, after they tell me that the Narayan Raj group says, oh, you got no prema. It can't be. Our guru said after many lifetimes of you following the rules, we following the rules and regulations, then we can get this. Oh, I see. Well, you're not a candidate, you so-called Raganuga Bhaktas. And I don't say this to criticize you, just to put you in your place. Because if you will admit that you're listening to a false argument that's not conclusive enough. If you can admit that this is more conclusive than what you understood before, then you can get free. Otherwise, you'll stay there. Well, no, I'm going the many lifetime trip. I have to become qualified. I have to go through an artanavritti, and that takes a whole lifetime, and then go to Ruch, get some taste, some little bit of taste, and then that next life, Ashakti, and then after many lifetimes, Prema will manifest. See, that was Narayan Raj's preaching. I mean, that's what I heard. And that's why I had a guru, one of those gurus made by him. And I said, hey, there's a Prema Bhakti over there in our Sangha. It was in Mayapur. And he said, no, can't be. My guru said many lifetimes before you get Prema. It can't be. Impossible. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you're not a candidate. Go follow your little path. Go be a little guru. And you're actually a little guru. You can't give a lot. Yeah. See, this is why here in our Sangha, you give titles, these big titles, bigger than they can't even, oh, I would never, because many lifetimes before I'll be like Narayan Raj. But you guys, you're becoming just like your guru and better. Boy, a lot of potency here. They would not see. You see, this is the nature here. This is the nature there. If you want to move on, because I know there got to be maybe one or two persons in Narayan Raj Sangha or ISKCON or Gaudiya Math that the Lord will show what I'm talking about is really true. And makes sense, more sense, even when I'm pointing it out with the scriptures and pointing it out with your examples. See, that's a purified heart, honest enough that where Krishna says, there you go, there's your path. There you go. You really want me? There you go. You want me quickly in this life, not many lifetimes? Well, go. It's being offered now. Not many lifetimes, this lifetime. Maybe in a week you might get it. If you really want it, if you're like Johan and Lilita Ganga. And if not, just hang around. You'll come into accord with that. Gradually, all your attachments to this modes of goodness and desire, strong desires to be a good person and goodness, and serve all these mundane persons, dedication to serving mundane persons who can't do much of anything for you. Look at Ganga. Look at you. I'm serving my Guru and Krishna on this path. You come here, you're going to come into accord with that eventually. We'll just wear away that illusion that you're so strongly attached to. Yeah, all this stuff. Oh, I got to serve mundane people. What good is that? You serve them like this, by being examples of pure bhakti. Shoot, I hit the table and I lost it. but not quite, because it's still sort of continuing. Let's see. I just lost the camera. Let's see if I can get it back. I got to watch hitting the table, man. Okay, maybe I can just reinstall the camera here. How do I do it? Oh, I know where it is. Yes, it's in this thing. Okay. See if that works. Still not installed. There we go. Back? All right. So this is, yeah. So if such impetuses are there, then they cannot be just, if such impetus are there, then it cannot be justly called greed. So, yeah, so if you're waiting for suitable sanctions, it's not greed. The greed never arises in anyone on such a basis, nor does a candidate ever consider whether he is qualified for the path of Raganuga Bhakti or not. And that's what you see the symptoms we're reading about here. If you're like that, you come here, it's very natural. You're not thinking, oh, I'm not qualified. That's why sometimes people that are not part of the Vaidhi community, like say Christina, she just comes, I like this, man. Hey, man, I also want to worship like this. See, so no, none of that in the way. Rather
it's
simply.
very hindering. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. What?
Yeah, I think it's very, very hindering that they have these rules and regulations in their head, and how I remember we were in a temple and they asked, can anybody talk about his realizations with Krishna? And I was very new, but I had a realization. I became ecstatic by painting a deity, and I talked, and I didn't know the word ecstasy, but I talked about this experience, and they became very angry. They became angry. I said, yeah, but you asked me about my realizations. And when I say it, you're getting angry, then what's the point? Why do you ask it?
See, that's the impurity.
Yeah.
They're not going. Yeah. See, they don't like to hear topics of that. They immediately, if you say that, they think they're, when you're not purified, you're materialistic Vaishnava still. You think she's not qualified. How could she have? This is wrong. Envy, jealousies, all they're not aware of it, but it's just there,
Was the only reason why I came to the temple, because I was against idol worship. I was against statues, but I started to paint it and talking to it, and I became ecstatic for 14 days. Freddie felt it. Freddie felt it. He said, "What happened?" I asked Lalita Madhava, "What happened to Lalita?" Something. I feel something changed in her. But
and the more you hang out with the temple, the more you lose it, because they're against that kind of worship.
Yeah, from that moment I tried to find more, of course.
Yeah.
It wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. So, this is Prabhupada's order. For those who want this kind of association, it's available here. Otherwise, you're stuck with that, and then this bhakti doesn't grow well in that association. You'll also have to hide, and you won't know enough. What I see is you need teaching, man. You need to understand the experiences of devotees. Otherwise you go in that and you won't even know how to worship. You won't even know its value, because nobody's reflecting it. Nobody's showing you by their example and saying, yeah, this is great. You're very fortunate. They say, no, you're very unfortunate. So how are you going to worship like that? You think you're unfortunate for feeling ecstatic love.
Yeah, there was a girl a few years later. I'm not going to say her name, but a Russian lady, and she felt ecstasy in her heart, and it was really very powerful feeling, and she told me this very silently, and she said, "Yeah, I talked to the female priests, and they told her this is something you can never desire for this again." And she told it, and I said, "But this is crazy. You felt God in your heart. You
Yeah.
felt so happy those moments, and you think you can't desire this? Then why are you here?" She was doing service from morning until evening.
Yeah.
She worked very hard, and she couldn't desire to feel the Lord again. I said, this doesn't sound very real. This
Yeah.
is not logic.
Yeah. So, well,
Not logic.
this is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam teaches you can do devotional service in ignorance and passion and goodness even. So devotional service in ignorance has those qualities. See, you tell what not to do, and what to do not to do. Everything's opposite, inverted, ignorant. See, mode of ignorance. See, that's where a lot of the bhakti is in Vaishnavism, beginning. See, but they're doing something. At least they're coming to temple, worship, but they don't understand things right.
No, no.
But those who are coming, they come in from into life looking for this. So we hang up our, see, like Jesus said, you don't put a bushel over the light. There's a light here. This light of truth, very conclusive, very clear, very wonderful. Some people, there'll be some that you see one by one they come. Yeah. Not the whole droves, people, they got to be, ready for this. They got to be ready to be purified, Otherwise, what is the sense? You come here and all you want to do is argue, and you think, arguing is it, and that you have your impurities are real pure, that you got the real path. Yeah, no, people come here looking for, this is what I've been looking for. Yeah. Yeah.
Raining very hard through the window. Is it disturbing?
No.
Yeah, because I can't reach her anymore because this young lady, she feels guilty. I talked about it, that she could develop it more, and because it's so precious what she felt. And she's not the only one who really opened her heart to me then in the past. But oh no, she's so afraid
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do a wrong thing. To do a
Yeah.
wrong
Yeah. Well, you see, she stopped by that.
Yeah, and she
She
falls
stopped
to
by
the
that.
floor when she sees somebody with a stick. My God, she falls to the floor like anything,
Yeah.
believing in that.
Yeah. Falls to the floor. Yeah. So, and most of these persons, they're on the same platform, more or less, just either you're a liberated soul, with this awakening. See, Lord Chaitanya, he's come to give the awakening. People come here, you'll get it quickly. Yeah. Okay, I'm kind of ready to move around a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know. Why don't we end it here, and you guys can do your own little, go in your kunjas and do your thing. Tom can play his guitar and chant the holy name, and Lalita can laugh like a mad woman, chanting Hare Krishna, blessing the planet, purifying. That's the only purifying thing in this world is see, when you devotional service, man, intimately expressing that in the world is just cleansing. See, she used to be such a cleaner, man. Now she knows the real cleaning job. She's got that goodness, because everything had to be perfect, man. I remember I went into that house, man. Every towel was folded. There wasn't a crease in anything. And we came up and messed her house up, man. Especially I brought the boys, man. I brought Rangaleka, the slob of the century, and then Govinda, and they just laid around, just messed that house up. But look at her now. Now she's cleaning the whole universe. Now this cleaning is effortless, isn't it? This is a lot better, man. The other ones took a lot of work all day long. And here you can just even like 5 minutes of this ecstatic cleaning, you clean the whole universe. Krishna really made her a cleaner now. The perfection of house cleaning.
How you like to clean?
Yeah, now it's fun to clean, isn't it? And you don't get burnout. The other one you had was a burnout, man. That's why she can only do a hobby on the pillow at night.
Oh, you look a little bit too good.
Yeah. Do her hobby when she's sleeping. She could dream of doing hobbies.
If I was lucky.
If she was lucky, man.
I didn't have nightmares.
Nightmares. So it's time to wake up and work like a dog. Cinderella, do this. Cinderella, do that.
Yeah. Go to your job, and there I had to clean as well.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh yeah, I was a nurse.
Yeah.
Washing people from morning until evening.
Oh my God, yes. And then you get a husband, you got to wash him all day. Boy. Well, it brought you here. Now it's like taking off a tight pair of shoes, isn't it? Whoa.
Living water now.
Living water, yeah. Yeah, the Lord washes you now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. I'll see you guys later, huh? Hare Krishna. Have an awesome day, huh?
Hare Krishna.
Thank you guys over there in the audience out there. You're great spectators.